Hey Sagittarius, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to another reading. This is going to be your read for January 2021. Let's get a couple more shuffles and then we'll get started. So, in the new year, Sag, and starting right now, I feel that what you guys are getting are waves and waves of epiphanies, waves and waves of understanding surrounding what you guys have went through, what it all means, and what the next steps are going to look like for you, who you're going to be evolving into next. I feel like there's this evolution of the mind that's happening with you guys here that is really very beautiful, and I feel like it has this undertone of forgiveness. It has this undertone of forgiveness and patience. You're not shocked by the things that you guys are seeing because I feel like you have always been aware. I feel like you have always known the truth. But what I'm getting here from you guys is acceptance and the tranquility that comes from that acceptance and from the understanding of what the culmination of your past experiences have meant. So very major shifts are happening here for you, and I think it's a really awesome thing to see. I also feel that you may have the need or the desire to speak some kind of truth. You may have the need or desire to speak on what you guys have recently come into knowledge about. It's okay to let that marinate a bit longer. It's okay to wait on that just a little bit. Why? Because I feel like Venus has been in your sign and it's getting ready to leave and to transition into Capricorn, and I feel that it's been kind of a frenzy. I think that things have been just really up in the air when it comes to your emotions. I feel that you know, for your season 2020, and while Venus has been in Sag, it was very liberating in the way that it showed you guys exactly where all the pockets of potential were around you. And I feel like there may have been a lot of split decisions that you're now beginning to see the repercussions of. And I don't want to scare you because I don't think that those are all bad, you know. Like I said, these epiphanies, they seem positive. This is clarity that's here. This is clarity that's here, clarity and understanding. So it's okay to rest in that. It's okay to let that settle in, to let that simmer before you act. Because your actions have consequences. That's an important lesson that I feel like you guys have learned in 2020, and having that knowledge is going to help you shape the new year ahead. It's going to help you shape this year what am I trying to say here? It's going to help you shape that vision. You know, you have the ability. 2021, I feel like it's in the eye of the beholder. What do you guys now want? What do you plan to do with this new knowledge and understanding that you have? What do you plan to do with this clarity that you now have? And I'm curious to see what it is concerning. I think it has to do with your heart. I think it has to do with your feelings, because Venus was there most recently. So I think that there could have been a lot of emotions, a lot of feelings that came up that confused you. I feel like what you guys are experiencing right now is a kind of coming up for air. Yeah. Coming up for air. Things got hot, things got heavy. Like I said, there was a frenzy, and this is that, you know, the morning after the party when there's like beer bottles and beer cans everywhere, there's like, you know, snacks everywhere, and whatever you guys are, this is the cleanup after the party. And you're still a little hungover, and your mind is adjusting to reality. A lot of the actions that I feel could have been taken were emotions and feelings could have clouded your judgment. That's going to hit differently for everyone out there. I feel like there is a break though here. There is a wake up. There are epiphanies that you guys are getting. And I feel like you're really going to see yourself and see your life and see the different situations in your life in a different light. Like I said, I feel like that's starting right now, but I think we can really look at, say, around maybe the 4th. You'll be able to separate even more expertly the real from the fake. You guys are waking up from the dream, and that Saturnian energy, I feel like it's going to be all about accountability. It's going to be all about, yeah, there are a lot of things that you guys want. Yeah, there are a lot of things that you guys are passionate about. There are a lot of things that get you going. But in order for you to start putting things back together again, in order for you guys to bring an end to the disorganization, it requires follow through. It requires hard work. It requires a clear mind. It requires truth. And it requires constant, sustained effort. I feel that there are a lot of things that you guys are learning about yourselves when it comes to your ambitions, when it comes to your wants, when it comes to your desires, when it comes to how you guys are investing your time. January is going to be big for that, because I feel like you are optimizing something there. You're optimizing something there, and priorities is what I'm seeing here as well. The question is here of what do you guys value, and how do you go about getting those things? You know, are you happy with the person that you are when you have a set goal in mind? Are you happy with how you show up energetically is the question that I'm asking. Do you feel like you've been focusing on the right thing? Or do you feel like you spent a lot of time focusing on the wrong things? And however that's sliced, I feel like you guys are trying to assess your yield. You guys are really looking at what you have to show for the way that you guys have been moving. This is the aftermath we're talking about here. After the dust settles, we're looking at what's left. We're looking at if it was all worth it, and we're looking at if we still need to tweak things, if we still need to shift and move things around in order for us to get that 10th pentacle. We're looking at if, wow, okay, well, we're looking at where we can evolve still. Wow. I feel like in terms of communication, how you communicate about the things that you want, I think that there's some kind of change happening there. And I think it's long overdue. And that's what's on the other side of that consistent effort. That's what's on the other side of setting aside your need to win the debate. And it's a pivot to a focus on the things that matter. It's a pivot to what it all really means, the truth of the matter, the heart of the matter, where the substance is. And that's not to say that, you know, that you haven't been communicating from that place before. I just feel like there are epiphanies, and of course, you know, we're going to look at our past actions. We're going to look at the way that we were showing up when there's new information that comes out, when there's new knowledge that is gained, that kind of changes our understanding. It changes our perception of what we had experienced, is what I'm saying here. And that's not a bad thing. That's not a dirty thing. But it's something that we must be open to. It's something that we must be receptive to. And I do think that finances look really good. Like, you guys have achieved a nice amount of financial success here in January. So if money has been a problem, I do see some of those worries being laid to rest, and I do see some relief coming in. And it's perhaps taking some of the pressure off of you to shift your focus to other areas. And you know, when you have a one-track mind, or it's there's a breaking of some chains that's happening here. But we must be willing to go through that experience. We must be willing to let something fall away. We must be willing to let something die, whether that's an old way of viewing a situation, whether that's an old approach, an old way of communicating. Or just a fixation on a particular outcome. What I also think could be happening here is you guys are mastering manifestation by way of detachment. planting your seeds and working on them in earnest. Not becoming obsessed with the outcome so much that you dig up those seeds that you plant. You're allowing them to take root. You're allowing new ideas to take root in you. I feel like there's a kind of openness when it comes to that as well. And, you know, that's something that is happening with you guys because Jupiter is in Aquarius, yes, and Aquarians are, they are known, you know, for their ability to go against the grain. They're known for their ability to stand outside the box. They are very much open to the idea of adopting a new perspective, or there's a kind of fearlessness that they have when it comes to authenticity. And I think that that's something that you are embodying, which is really nice. I feel like there's motivation and enthusiasm here as well to, when you guys speak, when you guys communicate, I feel like there's a lot of growth and a lot of wisdom and understanding behind it. This is looking like spiritual growth. Spiritual growth. Queen of Swords, Six of Wands. I feel that when it comes to any lingering resentment or pain concerning your heart, Sag, I do think that you guys are slaying some demons there. I think that there's a lot of long overdue and much needed healing that's happening. There's a Jupiter sextile with Chiron happening on the 11th. And if you guys are not aware, Chiron is known as the wounded healer in astrology. And I feel like what Chiron does, it's in Aries right now. What Chiron does is it brings up the things that we have been avoiding. It brings up the things that we've been sweeping under the rug. And I think that sextile that's happening there is going to be beneficial to you, because this tells me that you are clearing an obstacle. You guys are going through another phase of healing. You're going to another stage, another level of healing. So I think that that's going to be very positive for you. It's going to be very, very positive for you. And there's a new moon just a couple days after that. So I feel like there is some success that you guys are seeing when it comes to matters of the heart, and when it comes to finally perhaps feeling like it's safe again to love. I feel like you guys have been burned. And I think that there's a willingness to look at that pain for what it all meant. This is what I was talking about earlier. There's a willingness here to, you're receptive to the truth of your experience. And it's a very, very powerful time for you because of what you can do with that truth. The wisdom gained from not seeing what you guys have gone through as a weakness, not being ashamed of what you experienced, not being ashamed of who you were. when you were less aware, and becoming more excited about who you have the ability to become, Sag. And who's that? That's someone who doesn't allow things that aren't good for them to stick around longer than they have to. Doesn't cling to things out of a sense of loyalty or obligation to them. Accepting that departures, accepting that endings are a natural part of life and are a natural part of expansion. Change is the constant that is a necessary part of our expansion. And there are some things that are out of our control. But to detach ourselves from the outcome that we want to see, to become less fixated on the way that we once saw the situation, and becoming more open-minded to the new truth and new understanding that we have come to know because of the consciousness expansion that we've gone through. That is the meaning of life, and that is a secret to reaching enlightenment. So the feelings are gonna come up, and I don't see you guys running from them. I see you guys coming out of that haze. I see that hangover headache. After it clears, you can expect that, going into the second week of January, after it clears, you'll know that you have cleared a stage, and you'll know that the healing is complete. I feel like you guys also understand what it means to truly heal. You guys also understand what it truly means to forgive. That could have been something that was, or that is, elusive for you. And I think your ability to overcome that, your ability to gain insight surrounding what it means to heal, and what it truly means to forgive, and what it truly means to move on and move forward. The probability of you guys achieving that is very high. And your understanding of it is so evolved that you willingly leave behind anything that doesn't matter. And here I feel like these are old emotions that have been weighing you down. I feel that these are old ways of viewing and looking at the world, old approaches, old standards, and you're adopting new ones, standards for others and standards for yourself. Now, let's go through and we're going to clarify these and see what's really good. Okay. Ace of Swords. So truth coming out here that changes everything. Your ability to get the lay of the land and your ability to understand is heightened. It's heightened, and I feel that you can feel this right now. With each passing day, you know, with each day that your planet is in Aquarius, I feel like you guys are becoming more and more free. It's just one day closer to freedom, one step closer to freedom of expression, to freedom of thought. You guys may find yourselves thinking up creative solutions to new problems. You guys may find yourselves more, you may find yourselves unafraid to take steps that you had always feared. I also feel like as well you're blessed at this time. I feel that you're finding that those solutions to standing problems, long-standing or issues that arise that are sudden, I feel like the answer to those solutions are going to just magically appear, as if the answer had been there all along, as if all you had to do was think about the problem in a different way. All we have to do is set aside our ego and our need to be right. That kind of surrender is a humble act that the universe doesn't take lightly. You are rewarded when you take the high road like that, and when you willingly give into that kind of change. There's a blessing that comes with that. And if it's not a, you know, if it's not a material blessing, or if there isn't a manifestation of something like that in the external, and in many cases I do think there is in some way, shape, or form, I do think that, you know, this can be an internal one, which is just peace of mind, you know, which is a lighter heart, a heart that finds it easier to love, someone who can breathe a little bit easier. Someone who has found themselves, and someone who has begun to understand themselves on a different level. Let's look at the Knight of Pentacles here next. Actually, let's go into that Devil card there and see what this ego was surrounding, what this habit or addiction was that's being conquered, that's being healed. I feel like there's a demon here that's being slayed. There's no shame in that. We all have them. Isn't that nice? It's gonna feel great. That's cheerfulness. I know it's kind of dark, so I'm not sure if you can see it, but believe that it is here. Believe that it is here. So I feel as though let's toast your success. Let's toast that you guys have been able to go through this change, that you guys have been able to go through this transformation, that you guys have come to this conclusion. It just feels like one big, huge aha or eureka moment. Knight of Pentacles. Showing up. Showing up, not being afraid, doing the work. Not being scared to get a good look at yourself. Understanding the real meaning of vulnerability in your relationships. Understanding, becoming less afraid of the nakedness that you feel when you trust someone with your truest emotions, or when you embrace your own, when you embrace those that you have been running from. Sag, the days of worrying about the stability of your life when it comes to finances are over. I think that there are some fears that you had surrounding that, but I do think that there's an understanding here of where you have been holding yourself back. And like I said, there's a willingness here to change. There's a willingness to grow. I think that someone has an understanding of just how far their money can take them. And if not that, someone has an understanding of just how talented and capable they are. And when you have such pure talent that is overflowing within you, that is always accessible, it's just believing in that, but believing in the idea that it could be possible for you, that it could be real for you, and that you're not going to lose everything that you have been working on. So long as you live and breathe, you have the ability to make up for the things that you have lost. You have the ability to start building new once again. There's always another avenue. There's always another way out. It just takes adaptation. It just takes allowing your gift to grow rather than abandoning it. Lessons that can be applied, and that's a lesson that can be applied in several areas, I feel. So, Nine of Pentacles, money is looking really, really good. You are feeling here as though your sense of your self-value, your sense of yourself has been restored. There's no crying over spilled milk. There's no more dwelling and continuing to put energy into things that don't work. Be that approaches, projects, whatever they may be. and an openness to embrace the beauty and the potential in the new. That incredible new life that is possible. Oh my gosh. Hold on. As I was saying, that incredible new life is going to cost you the old one. And that may seem like sticker shock, but if it brings you peace of mind, if it brings you peace of mind, if it brings you release, where's the harm in that? Let's go ahead and actually look at the Queen of Swords here. So, detachment. Getting clear, getting honest with yourself and honest with everyone around you, and feeling very good about the ability to do that guilt-free. Understanding that it wasn't all for nothing. Understanding that it's okay to love life and it's okay to do what makes you happy. It's okay to do what makes you happy. And it's important that now that you guys get very clear about what that is. Get very clear about what that is. Uranus will be going direct in Taurus on January 13th. And this speaks of a huge shakeup. And I feel that what you guys have been going through is the prep. Don't ignore the signs. Don't ignore the things that you guys have recently come into knowledge about. Those are preparing you. Preparing you for the new life that you have the ability to have. By the time we get into Aquarius season on the 19th, that's funny. By the time we get into Aquarius season on the 19th, I feel that the sky is the limit. You're fully aware, you are feeling, you're feeling self-actualized, and you are, what you're aware of, Sag, is your power. I think that you guys have the strength to, you guys have the strength to leave things behind willingly. You guys have the strength to not accept anything less than what you deserve. And you have the strength and you have the courage to reach out and grab the things that you do want. Without shame. And with acceptance of yourself, with acceptance of who you are and what you represent, and an embracing of the birthright that we all have just for being here and existing. And what is that? That is happiness. That's joy. The one thing that we're all destined to have, the one thing that we all have a right to, the one thing that we all have access to. You can shamelessly go out and get it. Just say yes to your happiness. Say yes to your life. Altar. I love this card. It is about appreciation. There's Sag. I feel like there is something in your life or someone who you just have immense appreciation for, that hobby, for that occupation, for that person. And I think that you just want to pour all of your energy and thanks and appreciation into that particular cup. I feel that there's a strong desire here to let someone know that, or to just completely immerse yourself, your complete authentic self, into your projects. You want them to be a representation of what you guys stand for. Like, I'm getting chills right now saying this because I feel like you feel so strongly about it. And if there has been some doubt, if there has been some holding back, or you just didn't feel comfortable in it for whatever reason, there's no judgment here. I do see an exhale here, and an embrace of those feelings that you guys have always had, those feelings of appreciation and thanks, just to be here and existing and having the opportunity to express yourself, to have access to whatever this is that is making you guys feel so fulfilled. That was your reading. Thanks so much for being here. I will see you guys next time. Bye.